When you play the Game of Thrones, you
Subscribe and like.
or you die. There is no middle ground.
Alright, hello guys. So, we're back on the Grease Goblins channel. I'm in the same shirt that I've had on for the last, 4 videos, but that's because we're bulk recording. But, in this video, we're actually going to be basically going back to my first ever, A Song of Ice and Fire video. That video has done so much support, and thank you for all that. We're going to be talking about Stannis. I know you're all excited, because I always see people in the comments that be saying Stannis is the GOAT, and that's the truth. He is my favorite character. We're going to be talking about what I think is going to happen with his character in Winds of Winter. I have changed my opinion on this a little bit. I still have some of the same things that I believe will happen. But before we get into this video, if you'd like to see more videos from me, subscribe, like, and comment. Also, if you would like to see a certain character you want me to do, let me know, and I will try to do it as soon as I can. And let's get into it. So, Stannis at this point is not at a good point. He realistically his men are freezing to death. They're not getting a lot of food. It's not looking great for Stannis. But I personally believe that Stannis is going to win the first Battle of Ice. Because Roose Bolton sends out the Manderleys and the Freys. Because they've been fighting a lot in the castle to just try and wipe out Stannis' forces. Now we're given some context clues that Stannis has a plan. And we also know that they've been fishing in the ice for quite a while. So there should be a lot of holes in this ice. And they have this kind of lighthouse thing where I believe personally they're going to do some sort of light to draw the Freys into this ice. And I think the ice is going to collapse. The Freys are going to go straight down into it. I think it's going to be a massacre of the Frey forces. We also know the Manderley forces don't like the Boltons. They will probably betray the Freys as well. With that being said, I think there is a really fantastic theory that I'm going to put on the screen right now. I think this theory is really, really good because it ties in with the pink letter. It ties into why Shireen would be burned even if Stannis is alive. Because a lot of people have been commenting in a lot of my other videos and theorizing not only this theory that I put up on the screen, but that Mel is going to sacrifice Shireen because she believes Stannis is dead, which could lead to the resurrection of Jon indirectly, or maybe directly if she's trying to, or a number of other things. And I think you look at it also tying into other characters like Val and the Wildlings who think Shireen is kind of cursed. Maybe they push this hard on Melisandre that's the reason Stannis is losing or has lost at this point. And I think Shireen will get burned. Now, Stannis, I do not believe is going to be the person to do it. Stannis, again, is nowhere near the wall at this point. I know George R. R. Martin has said Shireen is going to be burned. I think even if he has said Stannis is going to burn her, I think he meant to say she is going to get burned maybe because of Stannis, because of him doing a fake death, which is what I think will happen, which was mentioned in this theory above. Now, I think Mel does this for the King's Blood power and all that, and all this happens. Going back to the Stannis plot, I think Stannis does dress up a lot of his soldiers as Freys, like this person suggested. Goes to King's Landing, goes to Winterfell, and basically conquers it from the inside almost. And kind of, we see this thing like, yes, Stannis is dead, they bring Lightbringer or whatever, they dress him up as Stannis, and this is why we get the pink letter, so that the pink letter actually, from Ramsay's eyes, this is all truth. He thinks this is what happened. And I think this is a really good theory because it makes the pink letter make so much more sense. It actually gives us foreshadowing as to what's going to happen, and we know how much George loves his foreshadowing. I think it's a really good idea. Now, what happens after this? Let's say Stannis is successful. He takes Winterfell. I think even if he does take Winterfell, he's not going to have the whole North rallied around him. And I think with Rickon, I made a video on Rickon as well. I think Rickon does come back from Skagos, but he's going to be a wild kid. I don't see him being this little lordling like Bran was in the earlier, books and stuff, where I just don't see it. And I think really all these forces that were going to rally behind Rickon are going to realize that and say, okay, he's not all there. He's just a wild kid. And let's say that Stannis does inevitably take Winterfell. He has control of that. I think Stannis will die fighting the others. That is my overarching thing where I believe Stannis is going to end up. I don't think Stannis will end up being king, sadly. I just think there's too many other players right now who are in way better situations. I think King Stannis, my guy, will be the first line of defense for the others, along with the wall as well, which not sure how it'll come down yet. Maybe we will see this magic that, Bran being touched or something like that could lead to the wall coming down, or not coming down, but the others being able to get through it. Or, which I think is a way more likely idea, is that Euron blows the Horn of Winter, which we know is in Oldstown, with Sam, or, well, we don't know, but we have a likely guess that it probably is there with Sam. Euron blows it. I think the wall comes down. That's how the others are able to get through the wall. And I believe Stannis, thinking he is still Azor Ahai. By the way, I think he will probably kill Mel at this point for killing his daughter, just, because he died or whatever. And I think Stannis dies being really a good, sacrificing for his kingdom, and being that first wave of defense, even though maybe it doesn't do too much, maybe it buys some time for the rest of the country to get united and to fight this threat, which in the end, I don't think it's going to be a good versus evil fight. I think there's going to be way more to the others, that they want something else, like reproducing or some maybe land or something like that. There's more to the others. I have an others video as well. I pretty much have a video for almost everything at this point, but yeah. So let me know what your guys' Stannis theories are. This is actually a shorter video because I actually have very much a condensed theory for what I think is going to happen to Stannis. This video is not as big as the first one I did, where I was talking about a lot of just the northern houses and stuff like that. I just think that Stannis retaking Winterfell would make a lot of sense. And him going out, not because he's a bad military commander, but just because he doesn't have enough forces, enough support to defeat the others, and him dying, protecting his kingdom, would make a lot of sense. And this last little Winterfell plot would be showing how really great he was as a military commander. And yeah, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed Stannis the Man of Time. Love Stannis. He is my favorite character. I hope he lives on a little bit. I hope him and Davos meet up one more time before the end. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Thank you for watching. Appreciate all the support as always. And I will see you in the next one.
If you think this has a happy ending, you haven't been paying attention.